So I want to talk about why I actually provide so much content, and it's an important lesson. I apologize for a little bit of background noise. It's an important lesson to sort of understand how the internet actually works. Is that you've got two effects that are really important to well, there's probably like three effects, but two effects that are really important. The first one is that storage of information is very inexpensive at this point, right? Like you can store things very cheaply for a very long time. The other thing that's important is you get compound interest effects that are on the internet, right? Like there is a lot of effects where that they're built on top of each other. So the more that somebody shares something, the more that it gets traction. The other thing is that people have really weird heterogeneous tastes, so meaning that everybody's really different and we're all kind of like snowflakes. We all have, different tastes. And, this combined fact, the reason why I actually provide a lot of content, first of all, I'm trying to build the reciprocity platform to actually get this thing to work. And so, you're going to get the word out there. But there's this other thing, if you sort of think about the logic of what's happening, is that if I provide content and I talk about different things, and talk about my life and all those kind of things, then every once in a while people are going to stumble into one of these particular, moments of where there's a contact point, content of some sort, right? And the fact that it is very inexpensive to store things, this contact point might happen 25 years from now. I don't know. So I'm going to put out this content. I'm going to put out this podcast right now, and nobody is going to listen to it. There'll be a couple of people. I think that there is 10 avid followers right now. Yes. Thanks so much, by the way. It's super awesome that you're actually following along. Not trying to make fun of you. It's just, the reality of it. But what it is once you put it out, there'll probably be those 10 people that are interested. But then in, 30 years, what will happen is that maybe once every 2 years, right? Realistically, once every 2 years, once every 3 years, somebody listens to this at random, right? Like it's just kind of a random person. So in 30 years, what that would mean is that you've got 10 different contact points, right? And that 10 different contact points means that you're going to maybe build different relationships under there. And then perhaps one of those, relationships actually turns into something. Now, the other thing is that you're getting is that every time that somebody listens to it, sort of tells, the various different algorithms that this is more popular. And then it's going to get more traction on the internet. More people are going to pay attention to this and listen to it because that's what's actually getting recommended as legitimate good content by the different websites that are out there. So legitimate good content is actually really hard to find. Like people doing good things, super hard to find. There's lots of sleaziness, right? And all of these large tech companies, everybody's upset with them, but they have this hard problem where it is just a bunch of sleazy trickster kind of people that are going to try to trick people to, buy their particular thing or, do something that is going to be against their interests. So tech companies are really fighting against that. There's lots of, ways that so a virus, for example, is what I'm one thing that I'm referring to or thinking about, right? Like they provide some sort of, manipulated content that you click on it and then you get a virus on there. Somebody from some location that is not reputable in any sort of way, and you get a virus and then they steal some money from you. So that information is prolific. And so what they have to do is search for interesting, good information that is going to be helpful for anybody. And so it's what they look for is people that are legitimate, doing the right thing day in and day out. And the problem is that because there's so much crap out there, it's hard to identify those people. And the way that you identify those people is by repeatedly building this reputation online. And that's what I'm coming down to, or what I'm thinking about, and why I'm actually doing this, is that it's very much, it's this crazy long play where it is, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that you're thankful that you actually did this. Now, right now, all of this is generally a cost. It's a minimal cost for me, because I'm just in particular, this podcast, I'm just driving into work. So I'm just talking to you. But it is a real cost, because I could be doing something that I enjoy, like listen to a different radio program or whatever, right? Like something. So it's a real cost, and I'm expending resources. But it's important to remember that all of this is very much a long run play. And it's not that I am doing this. So the immediate people right now, they don't care, right? Like the people that are part of the establishment, that sort of saying, the establishment, they don't care. This is not in their wheelhouse. But it is the people that are up and coming that are going to be paying attention and listening to this. And those people are going to be 10 years out, 20 years out. And then they might actually start thinking about what I'm trying to say and what I'm about. And so that's why I'm doing this, is to let you know that, this is my life and this is who I am, but also to think about there is long run potential that's there just by meeting people and being nice to people. And I think that that's an important lesson to learn, is you just try to be nice all the time. And some days you're not, and that's okay, right? But you try to, on average, right, be slightly nicer than what you were before. And so for me, it's giving as much as I can for as long as I possibly can, until, maybe something happens, maybe that there's a benefit from this, right? Like maybe, and it's a lot of maybes. That's what we're talking about, right? Like all of this is maybe. So everybody gets to benefit from it. And that's how the internet works, by the way. Everybody gets benefited, but maybe the Prince of Egypt, I don't know, listens to one of these podcasts, and then they're like, hey, wait a minute, I want to go talk to this person. And that there is, they just want to talk to me, right? You don't know what these opportunities are. And so you just have to keep hoping and talking about them. And so that's why I do this. A lot of content. I think it's super helpful, and you have to sort of realize a lot of different things when you're doing this. In many different ways, but it's also like therapeutic. I mean, beyond that, it's therapeutic for me, and you're my sort of virtual buddy. But in general, this is a long run play. It's going to take a long time, and it sort of builds over time. And I think that's an important lesson to think about. So yes, immediately, not great benefit, a lot of cost, but in the long run, it does, I hope, and that's all you go by. I hope it does pay off. So thanks so much for listening. I do appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.